I've got the spores, the sickness. There's the twins in my brain.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Domestic Cycling Podcast, where in today's episode we will be discussing everything about the men's Strade Bianche. It is again a pleasure to be joined by my fellow domestic Bram yet again as we preview yet another big race. Bram, how are you, mate?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good. Opening weekend, did you enjoy it?
I mean, opening weekend is always enjoyable, but I did think the racing was a little bit stale. Both races finishing on basically a bunch sprint. I think just the level is really level. So it's hard to make conclusions, except for there are some teams that we had higher expectations from that are not really delivering. But other than that, of course, enjoyable. What about you?
Well, obviously, as a fan of UnoX, it was probably one of the best opening weekends you could have hoped for as a fan of UnoX, with Warren Scheld. And then Kerner versus Kerner, and that was a bit of a letdown. I was doing the lives on both of the races. So yeah, it was a working weekend, let's say that.
True.
Before we dive into it, if the audience haven't already seen, on our social media platform, there is still time to become a founding domestique over on www.domesticcycling.com, where 245,000 euros has already been raised, which is pretty insane, isn't it? And it shows the belief that everyone has in the platform, I think.
Yeah, honestly, it's incredible to see, and this also just means it's gonna happen, and yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting, and the first thing's going to be the Giro, I think, if it all goes to plan. So yeah.
I don't know if that's been announced yet, so you might have to cut that out, but we'll see.
We'll see. So on to the unofficial monument, Strade Bianche, and what a spectacle this race is, in my opinion. Is it your favourite race of the season in terms of spectacle?
Favorite, probably not, but it is top 3 or top 5. I think like Paris-Roubaix is still a bit higher because of the crowds that are involved there. Strade is beautiful in its way, but the crowds alongside the road are a lot less populated. Whereas Paris-Roubaix is both spectacle and amazing crowds.
Yeah. But Ronde van Vlaanderen as well. I think that's close as well. So yeah, we got to mention now
top
because
3.
That's just crazy. But yeah, it's set to be a dusty edition, it seems, with no rain at all in the area in the day before and on the day. So yeah, what do we expect there, Brad?
Well, like you said, dust. I think it's going to be hard seeing the race, to be honest, because what we know from last year in the Tour, we also had or is that even 2? No, last year with the gravel race. Yeah, that was super dusty. You could barely see the racing happening. I expect something similar to happen again here if we have a lot of motorbikes ahead of the peloton. It's going to be tricky to see, but well, we don't really need to see it to know what's going to happen, right?
Exactly that as well. With more elevation than ever before, with 3,800 meters, it only just basically suits Pogačar even more, doesn't it? Let's be honest here.
Yeah, they've just thought, well, he rode away 80 Ks last year. Let's make it even tougher. Let's add some extra elevation. Yeah, more suited to him and less to the traditional classics rider.
Yeah, as well, new for this year, there's 2 more gravel sectors as well. I'm sorry if I butchered the Italian pronunciation, but it's the Tu Verdetta. That's the first new section, and then the Serravalle, which could be one of the most important new additions of the race for this year's edition. It's 9.3 kilometers in length and starts with 2.3 kilometers at 3.6%. So yeah, that's going to be a nice launch pad, isn't it, for Team UAE XRG?
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to make the race hard on that, especially since it's probably going to be a really rough gravel section compared to the rest of it. And yeah, it just is going to bring that fatigue a bit earlier on. It just leads into the Santa Maria then. Yeah, UAE is going to set a very high pace there and just kill everyone already.
And then that's basically like the NASA rocket ship launch pad, isn't it? And flipping, where is it? Florida. That's what it basically is. It's the equivalent for Pogačar. But yeah, that middle section, that is, oof, was it needed? I don't know. But yeah, people are going to be seeing Pogačar just absolutely send it, aren't they? And that is, people are obviously going to have a complaint, but what do you think there?
I don't think it's something worth to complain about. Early on in the history of Strade, it was more of a flatter race with gravel, although of course you still had the very steep sections, but it was a bit more of that Ronde van Vlaanderen type course, or elevation levels, and gradually it's gone more towards Lek or just more climbing classics and climbing monuments, and it's just shifting in its character. It's becoming more climbing, and that's not bad. It's just those races can basically be only won by one person.
I mean, in my opinion, it's also a bit of a shame because I think it was quite a balanced parkour in the sense before, because you could have any type of rider that could win, I think. Do you agree there? Like a puncher, like an Ardennes guy, I seen on Twitter, someone mentioned this, an Ardennes and a Flemish guy could win, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like a course like this, it becomes harder and harder for a guy like Van Aert or Van der Poel, who are now both dodging this, to win a race like this. It's becoming too much elevation for them. I'm not saying it's impossible for them to win it, but it makes it harder and harder for those types of riders to win it, and it's far more for the climbers.
Yeah, let's state the obvious. After his magic last year, Pogačar is likely to win again, of course. When people see his name on the start list, are they scared of him, do you think? Because in a sense, I think some people definitely are. In terms of Van der Poel, you would expect Van der Poel to be in this weekend, in my opinion, as well. But he's not.
No, I think Van der Poel is not scared of Pogačar. I think they're good mates, and Van der Poel does love a challenge. So taking on Pogačar on this course isn't. I don't think that's something he runs away from. But
this isn't ready yet, is he? Or
judging by what he did at Summit, he's ready.
So you may as well take the risk, innit? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the team just doesn't want to take the risk in terms of crashes, because of course it is a race where you have a little bit higher risk of crashing. But I do think, looking at the rest of the start list, there's a lot of big names from the classic season, and also more climbers that are dodging this. And Pogačar has very early on said he wants to do Strade, and I do think that this is an effect of that.
It's going to become his race, isn't it? Let's be honest. I think he's going to take ownership of the race.
I mean, if he wins it this year, and I don't know if we even need to say if, he ties with Cancellara for the record of 3 wins. And that's actually crazy to think about, that the record is currently held by Cancellara, which goes to show what kind of race it used to be versus what kind of race it is now. Like, Cancellara and Pogačar are 2 very different types of riders. But he's just gonna dominate for the next couple of years, probably.
In everything.
Well, in the Grand Tours, Pidcock can still put up a fight, I think, and Remco, of course. I have to back Remco. But
as a fan of Remco, do you think this will be a good race for him if they keep adding even more climbing?
The climbing is not the problem. I think the gravel's the problem for Remco. I mean, to be fair, he's also worked on that, but a loose surface has typically not agreed with him in the past.
He wasn't that bad though in the gravel stage last year, so
true. He was going for it. So he's definitely worked on that, but I would like to see him do a run of classics in a season. But I think until he has a proper crack at the tour again, he won't do it.
Yes. On to the provisional start list of this year's edition of Strade Bianche, starting off with the powerhouse of pro cycling at the minute, UAE Team Emirates, and poof, that's another strong start list for them, isn't it, Bram?
Yeah, of course. You have your, of course, your one-man team, Pogačar. Then you have Baroncini, Del Toro, Kloschartner, Novak, Vermeers, and Wellens. To be honest, it's not the strongest team they could put here. Not exactly by a long shot.
Scary,
this is actually, considering UAE, a little bit of a mixed bag of a team. You have your classics guys like Vermeers and Wellens, although Wellens could do a really good result here. And then you have some climbing support in Novak, Kloschartner, and Del Toro. But this is one of those races where the team's gonna ride in the first 100 or even 80k, make the race hard, and then launch, and then all of them can just do their own race.
Yeah, like we mentioned, that Sector 7 gravel sector, that's basically where they're going to hammer it. Del Toro, Wellens will be the last man, do you think, to launch Pogačar?
Yeah, considering the form that Wellens is in, he has that in him. Yeah, although Del Toro could do it as well, I think. Yeah. But considering experience, probably Novak, Del Toro, Wellens.
Yeah, Del Toro is a nice wild card, I think, there as well.
Yeah, I think he could go for his own result as well. Like, just Pogačar is off, Del Toro can do what he wants in the background.
Yeah, on to Alpecin de Koning, where you have Vermeersch, Gaze, Gilva, Hermans, Maresa, Ulig, and Verstringen. What do we think there? Because Ulig's had some nice form in some sprints in Tour Down Under, obviously. Could have got a good result until he got blocked by, I think, Piffy, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's obviously a different type of parkour. Vermeersch, the leader, would you say? Or Hermans?
Probably the leader, although Gaze could. I'm very curious what Gaze is going to do here. Of course, with his mountain bike background, he's going to find a surface that he likes. Vermeer's former gravel world champion. And then, yeah, with Hermans and Verstringen, you also have cyclocross riders. This is a team that is basically an off-road team. I like it. Of course, they're not bringing Van der Poel, who would have the biggest chance of winning this race. But considering their roster, good team.
Good team. On to Bahrain. No, sorry, no, we're not going to go to Bahrain. We're going to go to Arkea, where they have Kevin Vacquelin there. That's a very interesting rider for this parkour, I think, as well, because obviously we've seen his brilliance in stage 2 of the Tour last year, didn't we, where he won, I think, on when it was it San Luca climb? It was, wasn't it? I think. It was, yeah.
Yeah, he won on that.
On there. They got Dela Plaz, Ruland, Guglielmi, Libera, Martin Ciotta, and Venturini. So yeah, that's all in for Vacquelin, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think last year he did the Strade and just finished outside of top 20. But of course, last year was a bit of a special edition with it being wet. This year, the surface is going to behave completely differently. I think they're both very different races. Like a wet Strade or a dry Strade, completely different.
On to Bahrain, where you got Bilbao, Barati, Aurelio, Mohoric, Pasqualon, Robert Stannard, and Max van der Meulen. Nice talent there for the Netherlands. So yeah, who do you think is the leader there, Bilbao or Mohoric?
Bilbao. Bilbao always finishes top 10. I think he's ridden it 3 times, finished top 10 3 times. So he's gonna, he wants to do well. I think he can do well. Mohoric in opening weekend has not convinced me that he's back. Basically, very anonymous race. Didn't even finish Kuurne. Finished 150th in Omloop. Yeah, I have questions about Mohoric.
Yeah, it's just I think we've seen him and having some strong climbing performances so far in these races. Like I think was he in the Tour Down Under, if I recall? Yes, he was. Yelio. I don't know if I'm butchering his name, but yeah, he was going in some breakaways, I think, or attacking. Yeah, on stage 3 he attacked. That's what I remember because it was a very, very late night for me with the live.
Yeah, I mean, 23 years old, Portuguese, fresh onto the world tour.
Nice elbow for Bilbao, I think, really, for him.
Yeah, should be. But with these types of races, I think it will then be to help close gaps. But just I think this is a team that works for Bilbao, and Bilbao is going to do quite well.
On to Cofidis with Alex Aramburu, Valentin Ferron, Isegiri, Lastra, Mas, Auselin, and Dylan Toons. The leader there, I could pick Aramburu, yeah, because in recent years he's been there or thereabouts the top 20, hasn't he? I think his top finish was 16th. So yeah, all in for Aramburu and take some UCI points, really, I think.
Yeah, Toons could do well as well, I think. But
he's not done very well, has he, in Strade Bianche, if I recall?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at his results. But Aramburu just has the capabilities to do really well in Strade.
So you think, obviously, breakaway. It's a Gary as well. Potential there as a late surge or break.
For the breakaway?
Yeah.
Do we think there's going to be a breakaway?
It's to the point of going to breakaway. Let's be honest.
I mean, that's one of the things with this race. Like, usually races get breakaways, but well, actually, in the first half of last year, we saw that quite a few races just never got a breakaway because the racing's got so tough. I don't think we'll see a breakaway.
There's no point, is there? Let's be honest there. And as well for the viewers, that's not very good for the viewers. Well, is it good for the viewers? Because then they get to see that everyone's still together. Because the coverage doesn't start until, what, like 1:20 to go, I think?
Yeah. Is there coverage very early on? I doubt it.
I don't think so. No.
So basically, by the time coverage starts, Pogačar sets off. He basically gets, if the red light on the camera goes on, Pogačar sets off. What's the point of the breakaway?
If he went before the coverage starts, that would not be very good, would it?
That would be hilarious and sad at the same time.
On to Decathlon 82 on the Mondial, where they brought in Noah Isidori. He's a pro cycling manager wonder kid from the last game. He's a good talent, him. Clement Buffet, Stan de Wolf, Labros, Vendrame, Protom, and Tronchon. Tronchon had, again, as in the Tour Down Under, he had some strong form there. Yeah, he had, I think he was on the Wollonga Hill stage. He was very strong there as well, showing himself. Stages before as well, stage one, I think he went in the breakaway for some bonus seconds, if I recall. But yeah, who do you think is the leader there? I'd say Tronchon.
Could be Vendram. No, I don't think they would go for Vendram.
It's got to be Tronchon or the Wolf.
I mean, the Wolf could do well. Like, he was pretty good in opening weekend. Not exceptional, but he was up there. Yeah, in general, I think Tronchon. But he did a DNF in the Fondrom Classic, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, going on to EF Education Easy Post, where it is Frege, the Frege team, as usual from EF, isn't it? Healy, Battistella, Carapaz, Costa, Ryan, Shaw, and Vaughan. I don't know who the leader is there, but who would you pick if he was the DS?
Judging by last year's, I would go for Healy. But like, Healy's only done 2 races this year, which is the 2 phone races, where he's not really done much. Finished 103rd and 30th. So early season form not looking exceptional. But if, It's Ben Healy. Dude's a rocket.
Yeah, Battistella, who's been DNFing recently. That's a new signing for them as well from the start of last year. Breakaway potential. Carapaz with the increased climbing. Do you like his chances there?
Yeah, I think it's also a race that he quite likes. And, although last year he finished 70th, that's not a good sign. Yeah, I mean, Carapaz could do well, but I would pick Healy as a leader.
Vaughan, rolling back the years, he's always liked a bit of a punch.
Yeah, like he's gonna. It's tough to know where he's at.
It's too tough.
Like considering his results so far, I would say. Well, I don't think he's gotten really the opportunity to be a leader anywhere.
Yeah.
So far, he's been in domestic duty. So nah. Healy all the way.
Healy all the way. On to Groupama FDJ, where his team is at a strong start, I think, as well. Where they have Valentin Madouas, Lewis Aski, David Gadu, Lorenzo Germanic, Roman Gregor, winner, and Van Fernandes, where he won in, let's say, Algarve style, where people took the wrong way. I don't know how.
Yeah, and he actually got to keep the win this time.
Strange.
Nice and consistent.
Quinton Pache and then Remy Rochas. The form that Gregor's in, you'd probably take him as a leader, but also Madouas is also in some very good form as well, isn't he? Both in shape.
But also Gaudu, who
and Gaudu as well, yeah.
In Oman was very good. Of course, well, this is just a strong squad that they're bringing. So you have Madouas, Gaudu, Gregoire, Pache. They have cards to play here.
For once, Groupama, you're going to see, are they going to have a tactical masterclass or boot like always? What they do. But yeah,
I don't want to be defeatist, but tactics don't really matter. Maybe for podiums, but
you're going to count second as a win, I think, in this. And let's be honest, aren't you? Like Lombardia last year, where it basically was a win if you came second. But it's a losing mentality a bit, isn't it?
Okay, then Remco won. That's nice. I like that logic.
Well, yeah, Gregor, podium candidate. Do you believe in that?
Considering the start list, I think it's possible.
The shape is there. So
yeah, the shape's there.
Algarve was very strong there. I think he finished fourth, if I recall. If correctly, he did finish fourth. That's strong, and winning the youth as well.
Did he win Strade in the youth? I didn't know.
Pardon?
Or where did you say he won? Or
he won the Dash or Drum. Which one? I always get confused between them.
I mean, they're very similar, just a day apart. Well, the race is very different, but the name's similar. But yeah, I think Gregoire has a crack at the podium. Considering form and ability.
They do, with the finishing Siena up that ramp, we've seen it numerous times. He can pack a kick, and he really knows how to push himself, as we see it in Oman as well, with the win against Yates in the sprint. Yeah,
that's true. I think Josh, he's not been on the podcast for a long time, would be very happy to see Gaudu in his current form. Always been a bit of a fanboy. But yeah, I think the biggest chance for Groupama is Gregoire.
Moving on to another fanboy of Josh, is actually his team, which is the Ineos Grenadiers. Former team, yes. And obviously his team he supports. So let's put it like that. Where they got former winner Kwiatkowski, the Carrot of Ninova, Lawrence de Plus, Omar Fryer, Kim Heidel, Crucio, Rivera, Connor Swift, and I think that's a fall from grace. Let's be honest, the team is not particularly the greatest.
No, it was meant to have Bernal, but with the crash, he's not here. But Kwiatkowski is going well.
He's had some nice form, yeah. The Plus has also at least shown himself a bit. So yeah, it's still a fall from grace, I think.
And even Hajduk's not doing bad at all. But yeah, this is not a team that, well, Kwiatkowski could have a shot.
Top 20.
I think a good Kwiatkowski could go top 10 here.
Yeah.
But the rest is, I mean, it's what they have.
Yeah, moving on to Intermarché 1 with this. I like the look of this team, I'll be honest here, because it's got a real nice blend of climbers, I think, with Bussato Louis Barry, who was showing himself today in Trofeo La Guelia, where he was just behind that group of Ayuso, Scaroni, Stora, Paulus. That was a fascinating race, by the way. Really enjoyed the ending. I don't know if you caught up with it.
I saw the last couple K. Yeah,
great battle there. But now we see last year, was it the Arctic race of Norway, where I think he won a stage, I think he did win the stage there.
True.
Kellioni, Alexi Fauer Prost, Vitelli, a nice climber. Rotter, that's a nice climber again. So yeah, the blend there, it's an Italian and French and a Belgian blend there.
Yep, definitely keeping the Italian sponsors happy. But yeah, I think just a well-rounded team for what they have. I think Petit and Rota especially. The rest, I'm very interested because there's some new names here for me as well coming into the team, and it's always cool to see what they do, especially on this level.
Yeah, Bonayo and Barry, I think I'm going to have to circle both of them down, I think, because of obviously previous races. It's an interesting team, very interesting. Now on to the pro team, a pro team, Israel Premier Tech, where they have Jakob Fuglsang, Joseph Blackmore, very interesting there. That is the parkour suits him with a punch that requires, but he's not had that punch, I think, so far this year. Simon Clark, Hugo Hull, Chris Nielands, Nadav Reisberg, and Riley Sheehan. What do we think there, Bram?
Blackmore is what I want to watch. Like in Newsblot, I didn't really notice him anywhere.
Yeah, he was 93rd in Newsblad, so.
Yeah, but I don't think I saw him on the Muur, for example, because that's kind of where I would expect to see him, but maybe I just missed him. Rest of the team, Nylons could do well. I think he has some history with this race. Other than that, it's Israel Premier Tech.
I don't recall. I don't know if when Blackmore was racing in the UK, if he did the Melton Classic. I don't know if you heard about that, but yeah, that involves a lot of gravel. If he raced that, his bike handling skills on there, that could definitely come across in this race, I think, for him. And also with that ramp at the end, what could he do there, you know?
Yeah, but with the toughness of this race, like,
it's going to be weighted tough.
By the time you get to the final ramp, you know, you maybe get 1 or 2 places of gain, but you know, the race is done long before that ramp.
Probably 90 k's ago. The race is done at Santa Maria, I think. I think we both agree.
No, you still have, like, in the background, you still have a lot of places to make up, but you know, you don't make up 10 spaces on the climb into Siena.
Yeah, that makes sense. On to Lidl-Trek now, where they have Jasper Stuyven, Andrea Bajoli, Bauke Monument, Jacobo Mosca, Albert Within Philipsen, Quinn Simmons, and Maciej Vashek. That's a very strong team, again, there, with a lot of cards to play, I think.
So, yeah, I think we'll say this again a couple times about Lidl-Trek this year. They just built an incredibly strong squad for this race, especially with Quinn Simmons, who just always does well here. He's just beast. And then Vacek coming out of the opening weekend, like you could see he's done another step up. Also with Algarve. Was it Algarve? I think it was Algarve.
And also he showed himself in Andalusia, I think it was, or Valenciana, one of them.
Valenciana. Yeah.
Yes, that was it. Show himself there.
He's taken that step up. Also on the climbing part of it. And Abaggioli could do really good. Steven has won gravel races, been European champion or is current European champion. So yeah, and Philipsen, what does he do?
I think he suits this race well. But this year it's just a learning experience, I think, for him.
Yeah, there should be no pressure on him.
Obviously, yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna keep my eye on him because I want to see what he does.
He could generally do quite well and like just completely blow everyone away.
Because what he did in Australia, that was already super impressive.
I don't know who to pick as the leader, you know. Simmons and Vacek.
I think they'll share leadership and just see what happens. Just judging by history in this race, I would pick Simmons.
Yeah, I know Dieter will probably be talking about Simmons a lot. I know he loves Simmons in this race particularly. So yeah, Simmons.
Simmons shares Watts, so Dieter loves him.
Yeah, and I think Eritro Petenya has also mentioned Simmons as well to me as one to watch out from that team. So yeah, if he can produce is definitely interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean he's like with the extra climbing, he's gonna suffer a little bit more. He's on the heavy side, but you know, he's a tank. He can probably still do well.
Now on to Lotto, where they're bringing Lennart Van Eetvelt, nice rider, Jeno Brekmos, Lars Krabs, Logan Curry, Jared Drisners, Ruben Thompson, and Jonas Gregor, former Unirex rider. And that team is Van
Eetvelt, and also Bergmus can do well, but Van Eetvelt's going to be the leader, of course. Yeah, not much else to say about it. Then Van Eetvelt possibly a top 5. What else can you say about this team?
It's Van Eetvelt, basically, isn't it? Let's be honest there, I think. Pray.
Yeah.
And now on to Movistar, where this again is also a very interesting team with obviously they have Davide Formano, Ruben Guerrero, Carlos Canal, Manuel Moro, Pelayo Sanchez, who won a gravel stage last year at the Giro, which was very happy for me because I won a lot of money on that guy. What a legend. Gonzalo Serrano and Nathaniel Tesfacion. What do we think there? Sanchez, I think, could do. But
yeah, but he's DNF twice last weekend. So what's going on?
Not doing very well with his results there. Guerrero a little bit.
I mean, you called it a very interesting team. I just have question marks about this team.
They're not doing very well in the opening weekend. I think I recall that the riders was not there. I think in the opening weekend when he did a few DNFs very early on in it as well.
Carlos Canal, who did really good at O Gran Camino, but it's O Gran Camino. He finished second in the last stage there, third in the second stage. So he's in. Yeah, I mean, considering parkour and the rest of the team, I would have Canal as the leader. Although Formula could do well, but you know he's 32 now, and his previous races didn't look that promising. I think Canal's the guy to play out.
Yeah, now on to Q36.5 Pro Cycling Team, where Pidcock. That's all I got to say there, isn't it? Pidcock. What do you
There's
think
still
he can do
plenty
there?
of talent in the rest of the
Yeah,
team as
that's
well, I
yeah,
think.
definitely there. Bryson, Varda, Donovan, Kristen, Brambilla, Aspiran.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
it.
it's for this team, it's a
It's
super
very
strong
strong,
team.
yeah. For Pidcock as well.
Yeah, Pidcock was a bit surprised in opening weekend that the level of racing was so equal and high. So, I mean, he's won Strade before, so obviously likes that race. Yeah, I think he's a podium contender.
Podium contender. Ooh, I don't know. Top 10. I'm going to be same and say top 10 for Pidcock. But yeah, Fabio Christen's also shown some nice form, I think, in recent races. And strong start in the Spain opening races, but in the opening weekend, he was just a bit of support. Frison, do you like him there?
As domestique, yes, but I don't think
Donovan
he's there to ride a
as a
result. Donovan
Donovan has a
neither.
nice Vada.
With his mountain bike background, could see him survive for longer, especially with that more gravelly Sector 7. Yeah.
On to Red Bull. Bora Hansgrohe now then with Roger Adria, Jonas Koch, Philippe Mashuk, Gianni Mascon, everyone's favourite rider, Anton Pauser, Jan Tratnik, and then Tim van Dijk. I don't know, considering the signings they've done, it's a bit mid.
I don't know if it's mid, but you know, Tratnik,
Not
he's kind of haunted by bad luck in the opening weekend. Moscon, you know, it's Moscon. He just like can attack these races and other things. But I'm missing the big sort. Of course, they're missing Van Gils. That was meant to be their rider here. He's been replaced due to illness. So yeah, they're missing Van Gils in this team, and
who
I
would you
don't think
put
they
as a
have
leader?
as the leader.
Hmm.
Probably Moscon, but
Adria.
Adria could, yeah, maybe.
Did all right in
So
Honda
far this year,
2020,
he's
not
not
bad.
really been convincing.
Just a bit, but yeah. Tim van
Bit
Dijk.
mid.
Yeah, mid. That's the word. On to the Team Solution Tech Vini Fantini. Where you have Baumer, I think he's a new rider, very cool. Piras, Quartucci, Sparagli, Stewart, Tisseres, and Serenko. Obviously, that's going to be a breakaway team in it. But Baumer, I'm interested by him. He wasn't. No, he was not a new rider for this year. He actually joined mid-season last year at Corotech from Jacob, I think it was.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, you're saying breakaway team, but again, I don't think there's going to be a breakaway. I think the pace from the start is going to be too high. So, what exactly a team like this? I think as Barali is probably a bit over his top end. So, Balmer, as you say, one to watch out for. The rest of the team,
Just, yeah.
tricky.
On to Soudal Quick-Step, where Mikel Landa is starting. What's your thoughts there?
I'm looking forward to that because, watching Landa race is just always good. He's never raced this before, which is kind of surprising. Looking at the type of course it is and the type of rider he is.
Suits him even more, I think, now.
Yeah,
With
exactly. And that's probably
more
why they're
toughness.
putting him in. It's also that he keeps his calendar a little bit interesting. So probably contender for top 5, in my opinion. Is that too high?
10? top 10, top 20. But yeah, this team around him is also very good, I think, as well. We got Mattia Cataneo, Peter Seri, Gianmarco Garfioli, Pepin Reinerding. That is a hard name to say, I'll be honest there. Mari van Zevenen, everyone's favorite, with like a snake. Louis Vavarka as well. Van Zevenen, I know we picked him, I think, a few times in the Giro last year on with our domestic picks. I think some of us did, and he let us down. So, what do we think
He
there?
did. Yeah, he's one of those guys with, like, you can just see him from a helicopter shot, even if the helicopter is 3 kilometers away. Pataneo could do well. But yeah, Van Zevenand could probably hang on for a while. The final, I think he'll be dropped.
I'm now on to Team Jaco Alula, which is an interesting team. Kind of, it's an interesting team. I'll put it that way. Filippo Zana, Alessandro De Marchi, Felix.
Have you considered one specific team not interesting yet? Or are you just saying interesting team to every one of them?
Yeah, they're all interesting to me because some of them make no sense and some of them actually make sense. Because you have to look at it in some form of way if it's interesting. So, yeah. For Engelhardt, Valdega, and Haffley, who's a mountain bike background, flying very well in the Saudi Tour behind Pidcock, didn't he? Asbjorn Helmoser and Davide De Preto. Yeah, Alan Haffley, do you think he could do well in this race? Because that South African definitely could, I think.
Yeah, in the Alula Tour he was doing well.
Alula Tour, that's not Saudi. Whoops.
No worries. Other than that, I mean, he really doesn't have that much racing experience on the road, which makes
it's
it
going to
kind
be,
of,
I think, maybe very overwhelming for him in terms of what type of race it could be. Just the sheer amount of people in that close proximity.
He's 28 years old and it's going to be his first World Tour race. Of course,
like,
mountain bike background is going to help him out massively. But yeah, just want to keep an eye out for
Zanad as well. Good climbing ability.
yeah, Zana's definitely the leader here. He's going to be the guy for their result.
Yeah, former Italian champion of last year, wasn't he? I think, if I recall, the year before. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now on to Team Picnic Poster. Now on this. This is I'm not going to say the word, but it's very. Let's say proof. I don't know what they're going to do. Vermarke, Combo, the Hunt.
Max Pool.
Max Pool, Van den Broek, obviously the heroics of stage 1 last year, the Tour de France. Another Brit, Bjorn Code, did very well in Tour Down Under as well. On the Wollonga Hill stage. Sure, yes.
Yeah. I consider Pool to be the leader here, although Vermark could be as well. But I have higher hopes for Pool on this.
Van den Broek?
Depends on what kind of steps he took. I know he did all right in Alula Tour, but that's Alula Tour. Like him going for a result in a one-day race. Have we seen that yet?
I don't think we've ever seen that yet, no. Now on to Team Polti, Visit Malta, where obviously they have one of the Bice brothers who is somehow always in a breakaway. One of them is in any stage or race. Then Crescioli, De Casa, and Alex Martin, Javi Serrano, Diego Pablo Sevilla, and Samuel Zuccarata. We've mentioned that before, where there's likely not to be a breakaway. So what do we think they're gonna have to try here? Some magic?
Yeah, but I think like a Zuccarata could do quite well. Italian gravel champion. Also like decent in the one-day races. obviously not going to win it with, if he's lucky, top 10, probably top 20, but
top 29 to top 25 for them.
Yeah, but I think like Zuccarello could do it, considering his skills. Yeah.
Yeah, now on to Team Visma Lease Bike, where they have Attila Wouter, where he's always been there and thereabouts in Strade Bianche, time in Horat, Menno Huysing, super talent, Jürgen Nordhagen, Ben Tullet. He's been circling out as a rider to watch. Tosh van der Sande and Julian Vermota. What do we think there? Because Tullet or Wouter? Where Tullet was top 10 in Jan, so yeah, he has the form.
Yeah, I think they're gonna play out Tullet. I think Tullet is on a contract year. Last year was pretty bad. And I think they're just kind of giving him the spring to prove himself. Because obviously they kind of brought him in as a like, oh, this is someone that we could see turn into a GC rider in the future. So far it's not really panned out that way. I think even in, was it the Figueira Champions Classic, where we saw Van Aert it was Classica Jaén, where we saw Van Aert just empty himself to give Ben Tullet a chance. Would not have predicted such a thing. So I think they just have big faith in Tullet in this spring, and but of course you have a Walter as well. He's just always good here.
19th last year. I think I recall betting on him last year for top 10, so yeah. Nordhagen as
but
well.
The year before he was very good. When he was basically riding against Benoit, but well. Nordhagen, yeah, one to watch. I don't know what to expect. Do you?
I'm not going to say anything, but you don't want to apply pressure on the young riders, do you? Because it's a bit harsh. But
what we do, Ethan, it's what we do.
His potential is the sky's the limit of him. I think. I'll be honest there. Tremendous, basically. If he gets a free roll, I like to look at it.
Yeah, and the basically what he did with Oman and the Muscat Classic was
he was ill before the Muscat Classic, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean they basically flew him out to Oman and then just sick. Got a little vacation there, maybe.
Nice little vacation in Oman, nice hot country. So yeah, but if he was ill, it would have been horrible. Well, yeah, on to Tudor Pro Cycling, where this is a nice team. Hershey, Rondo, Stork, a winner in Mallorca, one of the Mallorca races. Vossard, Hannes Wilch, and Wirch, and it appears that there's only there's missing one rider, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's
not a confirmed team yet.
Yeah, and it's not finished yet.
I don't think this is a very strong team. You have Hershey, who's obviously strong, and like one of the form that he had late last year was kind of monumental.
It's like Scaroni this year, isn't it?
I think he was even better than that.
Yeah.
But the rest of this team not hyped by Hershey. If has he raced yet this year? I don't think I've seen him. Oh yeah, he has.
He's racing. Yeah, he's racing in the Mallorca races.
Yeah, he basically won his first race season.
And so yeah, he's going well. Yeah. What do you expect there from the team?
From the team, not much. From Hershey, I expected top 15, top 10, maybe.
Top 15, I'll go with that. And now on to UnoX Mobility, where we're not going to have a monologue here, but I think it's very strong. Very strong. If I was to pick the team for Strade Bianche, this is what I'd go for. We are lined up with Magnus Cort, Simon Dolby, a nice climb that came in this year from the development team, which is disbanded. Frederick Dresnes, Marcus Hulgaard, the Johannesson twins, and Adwas Kron. Do you like that?
It's a good squad, yeah. Curious when the team is gonna hire you to do their media, because you just do it, don't you? No, propaganda. I think this is a very strong team. Especially I think like a Krohn, who's shown that he can do really well here, and then the Johansson twins, obviously. For Cort, I think it's gotten a bit too difficult, too hard.
Hulgaard is a rider that me and Dieter mentioned quite a bit. We've circled him out for
E3. Wasn't he ill?
Yes, he dropped out of the race. Omloop, yes, that's correct. He dropped out there. But if he's comes back to form, he has a dog in the term, I think, because he has an engine on him, like full on engine. I remember talking to Johannes about him before, and he mentioned how much of it, like, basically he just goes. So there's a class play there, in my opinion, as well.
All right, good to know. Yeah. Good to watch.
They will be fun to watch, as always. Exists, unlike other teams. XCS Astana team as well, where the
team of the year so far.
Yeah, the stat pad session is going full on impressive. After a mega start, let's be honest here, where they landed up with Betio, did very well and nearly even came back in a group today in Trofeo Laguelia, but just that little bit too far back. Alessandro Mameli, Scaroni, who's literally like Pogačar right now, but Ayuso couldn't drop him, but then tied him out in a sprint today. Edith Schelling, Davide Tonietti, and Diego Ulisi, and Velasco. Nice team, I think. Scaroni, if he continues his form, look at now.
Well, if he continues his form, he's going to win it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Top 10 for him, I think. Ulisi, nice as well, I think. There. Betio, is it too hard for Betio?
It's probably just too hard for Betio. Yeah,
just on the edge for Betio.
Yeah, just in general for this race, super strong team. Scaroni. Yeah, I mean, I think he has a lot of eyes on him right now after his season start. Do you expect him to do top 10?
Yeah, I think so. Especially you've seen a rider like Ayuso, he's struggling to drop Scaroni. And I know Ayuso gets a lot of flame sometimes online for being a troll, basically. But yeah, if he's keeping up with Ayuso, that's pretty impressive, is it not?
Especially, yeah. I think Ayuso also did the Van Drom Classic. There, he just nuked it at, was it like 45 to go? Dropped everyone. But like, well, yeah. Maybe home ground advantage for the Italians and give them some extra boost. Yeah, maybe top 10, but I mean, he's
UCI, more UCI points there as well for Astana in their mission to survive. It's like the football equivalent of Sam Allardyce coming in and taking over. I don't know if you know about Sam Allardyce. I know some of the viewers definitely will. He's a British football manager who comes in and saves teams from relegation. It's basically like Sam Allardyce has came in there and taken over Astana. And would it survive?
Yeah. If they keep going like this, yes, they will.
Then who does that put into danger? Is it okay?
Okay, yeah. But I think considering like quality of team so far this year, Astana deserves to take Arkea's spot.
Yeah, now we are both going to predict our podium and we're going to single out an interesting rider to watch, I think, as well. I think that's going to be very interesting to hear both our opinions. Let's start off with your podium, Bram.
Do we have to say the winner?
Well, we're both going to know he's going to win. Pogačar, of course.
Yeah, okay, so Pogačar is the win.
Well, how far does he go from? That's also what we should say.
Well, he's going to go from Santa Maria again.
Yeah.
So that's again 80k to go or something. Then I'm going to put Van Eetveld and Jaguar.
I was not expecting Van Eetveld there, but obviously a bit of Belgian bias there.
How to do it?
I'm going to go with, obviously, Pogačar first. Then me and Gregoire second, and then I'm going to go with Vakinen in third. I don't know why I just like Vakinen. I just think
you really like the French?
Yeah, I really like the French there. But yeah, an interesting rider to watch who's not like let's say, a big name. You're going to single out as you're going to like the look of. Obviously, I might have to say Albert Wilfred Philipsen for me.
Yeah, that would have been my rider to watch as well, but then I'm gonna go with Samuel Gaze.
Samuel Gaze. And I was not expecting that. But yeah, that's all we have time for in today's episode. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Once again, thanks everyone for tuning in, and make sure to enjoy the spectacle on Saturday because it's going to be a blast. Goodbye for now.
I've got the spots, the sickness. There's the twins in my brain.